This week, it turns out David doesn't know as much as he thinks. Chloe was actually factually correct, and I got a sticker, and I loved it. So, let's strap down, let's strap in, and let's do this.
This is just another trucking podcast.
Hello, this is just another trucking podcast. I am your host. No, I'm going to fucking recite that again because I fucking.
No, you're not. Come on, keep going.
No.
You can do this. Come on.
Right, come on, we can do it. It's David sat there like that horrible
This
smirk
lovely,
on him. Like, he's
lovely,
like, oh, this is all
content-free.
content. Fucking all this is getting left in.
You can read my mind very well.
Fucking, this is the problem with mistakes. They're all recorded. There's your issue, right? Let's try this again. Hopefully, it's not going to go in the podcast. But actually, I've got an idea. There we are. Jobs are good.
Bleep, bleep, bleep.
I can try. Hello, this is just another trucking podcast. I am your host, Tom, and I'm joined, as always, by my good friends, co-hosts, and people that I barely tolerate. We've got Chloe. Hello, Chloe.
All right.
You know your place in the universe.
Oh, you bastard. Whatever. Not talking to you now.
And we have David. Hello, David.
Hello. That's all you
How's
get.
that? I feel like there could be a lot more energy here, but
Well, you don't introduce us like, "Hi, my fantastic friends," and then we might go, "Hey, Tom, how are you?" No.
Like, remember when he really
friend is
complimented
such a
us?
strong word.
Like, that was awesome, and like you definitely got a good response there. But now when you're just like people who you barely tolerate.
Yeah, how are we meant to reply to that? It's like,
Sup?
all right, yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic. Hi.
Like, hey Tom,
this-
person that we don't really want to work with, but we have to because we can't really replace you. You know, because you have all the
Like,
you have all the
ginger
passwords to
person,
everything.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't. That's the thing. I don't have any passwords. I tried to log into, was it Red Circle of the day? And I was like, I don't know the password. Don't even know the email addresses. So it's
Oh, that's right. I changed the password and I changed the email. That's right.
He's
true.
trying to push you out there.
I'm slowly being replaced, and it's not great.
I was looking. I was going to replace the password and the email address for the salmonslap.com. I was there like, I could
Do it.
easily change this right now.
You should. We have
do
a
it.
producer back in the house, so it should be a little more controlled this week. That's delightful. Hello, Nessa. How are we doing?
Howdy. Have you missed me?
Absolutely, we
genuinely.
did.
Always.
Yeah, we have. We really have. My God. It's
I
not been
noticed
great.
I really enjoyed listening to last week's podcast, but I thought, I could have done with a bit of research for them there.
Yeah, the problem is we just say things, and we do need someone there to kind of say, what you've just said is bollocks.
Yeah.
You have not said something that's okay. So,
It happens. Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
have a guest. Hello, guest.
Hello.
So, this is Chris. Chris is Canadian and just
I'm
You've
sorry.
mentioned Chris before, yeah.
I know I have, but just as a Canadian greeting, I'm sorry? Question mark?
Yeah.
I think is that how the Canadians say hello to each other? They apologise a lot.
Isn't that a British thing as well, though?
No, it's Canadian. Also, bags.
We're also
like,
very
bags-
passive aggressive. That's also a Canadian trait too.
Oh yeah, that the passive aggressive. That's both. That's
My
definitely-
in-laws must be Canadian.
So Chris is someone that we mentioned quite a few times on the podcast. Have I actually mentioned my name or not?
I think so. Maybe.
I think you
because we
mentioned
have
it. I
Balls
don't
Deep
remember.
Grip, and then we have Canadian Balls Deep Chris,
Yeah,
don't we? Yeah.
He is balls deep quite a lot of time.
Yeah. See?
So this part of the reason why we wanted him on was because going back to the second episode, I think it was, we were talking about some of the new rules for Canadian drivers, like for new pass drivers. Chris is a Canadian new pass driver, so we can actually
Yay.
ask someone who's actually been through some of this stuff and go through, explain. Get some answers and find out some of the stuff about Canadian rules and how it all works up there, and also what it's like to be so cold, most of the time.
It's all right.
Oh,
You get
it's
used to
so
it.
cold, right? Yeah.
In the summer, it's not so bad.
It's
Well,
hot
is
in
it-
summer. We get both extremes. You're either freezing to death or you're on fire. There's no in between.
Well, it's like,
Actually, you're
Very
wet.
nice.
You're wet for a couple months in between the transition, right?
Yeah.
So what your seasons are: winter, rain, summer, rain. So yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
just wet most of the time.
I'll say we're just wet.
So before we
we know
start,
about that.
and we're going to get a lot of information about the schooling that actually goes on, and I'm sure they're really going to put us to shame. We do need to do a little bit of housekeeping. All right, so because not everybody makes it to the end of the show. Shame on you, people. But I would like everyone to go to salmonslap.com, and anybody who has actually purchased something in the past, thank you so much. Seriously, thank you. We do
Genuinely,
neglect to actually to thank people who actually do buy stuff at salmonslap.com. So thank you very much.
If you have bought something from there as well, take a picture of yourself, put it on Instagram, tag us in it.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And,
and even if you've already bought something and you've from a few months ago, definitely
Flag
still do it.
I've just done it. It's fine.
Yeah.
And if you have a baby,
We
you
would
can
know.
now get a onesie for your baby.
But you can't get an
Have we
adult
actually put the
onesie.
Well, no, because I think there's been a mistake, and we didn't realise
Oh,
because
no.
I'd seen So I'd seen there was onesies on there, and I was just like, oh well, adults wear onesies, and I didn't realise that they were only for babies.
I mean, that's a good mistake. I could make that mistake. I get it. Do they not do Oodies then or something?
Doesn't make me feel better about the situation.
I mean, you can make a mistake. What do they do? Oodies, like the big jumpers. Like the big pajama jumpers.
I've no idea.
What?
I didn't check that one out.
Like, I don't know where it is. But
What?
Like,
Do
big
they do
pajama
what?
jumpers.
Or do we
Oodies.
do what? This is our shop. Do we do what? Wait, you shouldn't be asking this.
Well, I'm asking for the general public. Thank you.
Do you know the answer?
Point.
I have no idea. No, I'm actually really asking, and I don't know why I'm asking Tom because he's not going to fucking know, is he?
Well, I know we've got hoodies on there, but what's an Oodie?
Yeah, like it's like a big fluffy thing that's like giant. It's like two.
So like it's like the giant
fluffy
hoodie that
thing.
goes down to your knees.
Yeah, and it's like got a hood. And
I
it's
got
like
my wife a
fluffy.
couple of those. She's into them.
There, I bet you need it in the cold weather. Actually, I bet that's amazing.
Well, you
so it's
wouldn't
a-
go
it's just a
outside
long
looking
hoodie.
like that.
No, true.
Yeah, but like
sleeves.
down to the
British
knees, like
people
you
would.
look kind of like a wizard in it. Big front
Ooh.
pocket too.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
down for
I
looking
mean,
like a wizard.
I'm interested.
Tom,
Go on.
Tom.
David
They
already looks
come
like
in-
one.
They come in a standard size though. You're gonna have to
You're
try and
getting
find
there,
a
Tom.
special size. Yeah, because
That'd just be a normal hoodie for him.
Yeah, it will come up to your belly button or something on you.
You know what? I have had it where when I've gone to like places and I've got got the work uniform, and I put it on and I put whatever shirt it is on, and honestly, it's like a
You're
tank
like, oh,
top.
crop top.
It's you can see my belly button on it.
Summer ready.
The only place was Pickering's, and they got me a uniform, and there was the work pants, the orange pants that I like to wear, and they got me 2 of them, and I opened them up and I thought, fuck me, these are big. These are like really, really big. So when I got them home, I got in it, and then so I put them on, and I called my girlfriend over, and she also got in them as well. We could both comfortably fit inside these pants. I have
my God.
never seen like honestly, it was wild. I've
I
never
want to
seen.
see. I want to see a picture
I
of that,
would
dude.
love
I
to
don't.
see a
I,
picture of
I don't
that.
believe
Still
you.
got them.
Right, so do you know like Jared from Subway, that one where he's got his pants and like he holds them out? Like it looked like that, but less paedophile-y.
Oh,
So-
you beat me to it.
Wow. We
All
need
right.
this picture.
All right, if you're watching us on YouTube and are driving your truck while watching, stop that. You shouldn't be doing that in the first place. All right, but if you are, just park your truck and then put a comment and tell us something that you want to tell us in the comments. And if you are on Apple or Spotify or whatever, just please give us like a 5-star review. I don't want any 4 stars or
Yeah.
3 stars.
No, we don't want
I
shit
want
ones, good ones
I don't want. I only want 5 stars
People
and
only give
only good
3-star
reviews.
You what?
Excuse me.
People actually give 3-star reviews. Like, I mean,
You
how
might as
many
well just
people?
not give us a
I
review.
have done one as a joke before, but like, do people actually genuinely go on and like go, "Yeah, it was all right"?
What do you mean you did it as a
Have
joke?
you seen the ones
I
that
can't
they do
remember what it
1
was
star?
for.
They do 1 star and they go, I've already put 1 star, so people read my comment. It was amazing.
Oh, that's
No?
funny. That
That's
is
brilliant.
awesome.
Don't
No,
do
that
that.
is a very good idea. Because I love reading the 1-star reviews and stuff. Because
Yeah,
I
so
and
you
it
get
gets
to see the bad stuff on something, and then you go, "Oh, that's actually a good one."
that is so funny. Okay, that's awesome. And like I didn't even buy the product. I just wanted to put a 1 star. All right, awesome.
I just
my
wanted
missus,
fame.
my missus having problems with the company, and we should have gone through the 1-star reviews. I've recently gone through the 1-star reviews to go and see, and all the all the things that people are saying are basically the problem we're having. The exact same problem, like verbatim, what the issue that we're encountering. I think a lot of the 5-star reviews. I know this is not selling because we still need 5-star reviews. I think on a lot of these companies, 5-star reviews are bollocks, really, aren't they? For a lot of
But you have to think too,
because
like,
they're
are you
bought.
more, if you like, let's say you worked at a place, you had a great time, are you going to be like, you know what, that was so good there, I'm going to leave them a 5-star review. Whereas if you have a horrible time, you're like, those fucking assholes, I need to get them back somehow. So
Yeah.
like, you're more likely to leave a bad review than a good review.
Yeah, very good
Well,
one. Unless you've had a fantastic.
So
rapport with them.
I'm
Even
on,
then, though, it's like, well, you know, I'll just keep that back here and I'll move on with my life.
Well, I do Google reviews a lot because you can actually get cool stuff with it, and I do like so I'm a Google guide is what they call it.
Nice one.
Because I do so many like different reviews, and I've only ever left one 1-star review because I do so many reviews of different places. Because I'm a kind of community guide, my review goes to the very top, regardless. So this 1-star review, and I genuinely the place is recently shut down, and I
Shut
wonder,
a place down.
And you think you've
I
done
w-
that?
I don't
might
know.
have shut them down.
It was a really bad review. It was like I'll see if I can try and dig it out. It was as bad as it
Wow.
gets for as far as
So-
review goes.
Is
So
that
when
like
it
a
comes
place
to-
you went
when
for
it-
work, or was it just like...
Yeah.
It was-
Is there a site? Have you ever gone to a site that just
David, this is a common thing, right? Okay, if you listen in the comment on YouTube, like let us know in the comments. Would you say I'm going to? I've been to a site this morning. If you're like, I'm on site, like because basically David seems to think that I'm with the customer, or I've like how would you explain it, David?
Well, okay. I see. We like we're trying to backtrack here. I was first of
Well,
all,
probably
Tom.
should have explained
I
the
was
conversation
hold
before.
on, Tom. I was setting you up for a great fucking transition right there.
You
I
bastard. ruined
really
it.
was.
Oh, were you? Oh shit!
Yeah,
Right, that's right.
Because
yeah.
what's your topic, Tom?
Oh, I'll be honest with you. I forgot that was my topic.
Oh,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
lucky we got
Well, no. But we still need to introduce Chris.
Okay.
As in, like, we need to do. We remember.
Oh, okay.
We used to
You
have
make
a
a good point.
structure. Things have a structure around here, David. We ignore
Oh,
it
and
most
we
of the
follow
time.
those structures to the T, don't we? Yes.
Fucking hell,
We're doing
I know.
so well today
Okay, all
already.
right. Okay, so basically, all right. Tom was saying blah blah blah. Well, okay, he was saying something about a site. All right, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So like, would you ever go to a site that is absolutely fantastic or blah blah blah? And I'm like, fucking site. What are you talking
Yeah, I got
about?
what
In
you
my
meant.
head, I'm like, I was trying to figure it out, and he was talking about the site at a customer, like a construction site, or you know, like if you're at a
Or a
customer,
mine
hey,
or a
I'm on
quarry.
site.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
just
know,
a
but you're at a
site.
quarry. I've never delivered to a quarry. You know what I
But
mean?
it
Doesn't
doesn't
matter.
mean
It's
to
still a
site.
customer.
If you go to a customer
A
to deliver
customer is
beer,
a s-
it's still a site.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But it isn't really
Right, Nessa, you've been very quiet during this. Can you back me up here and let's just have
because
like a
she's muted.
wave of people. Let's have like as many people as we can do, basically backing me up on this, saying that site is an appropriate
We call
word.
a lot of places site, but not everywhere. But when you're somewhere and you're on the phone to your boss, for instance, you say, "I'm on site."
Yeah, I'm on site.
Okay.
Yeah.
And instantly you'll go, right, okay, sweet, I know where you are.
I feel like you need
Yeah.
to add something to that, though. Like, if I just call and say, "Hey, I'm on site," they're going to be like, "Are you on site at the shipper, at the consignee, like one of the stops, like what?"
We're
Which
on track
site?
as
You have
they
to
would
be
Yeah,
more
right,
yeah,
specific.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you might
Yeah,
have
no,
to-
we are
let's
too,
be
but they're
honest.
not
maybe.
gonna type in your truck number and look it up every time. You're just calling them.
Out of,
Yeah,
out
I
of
don't
curiosity, English people, do you know what consignee means?
Yes.
Consignee is consignee the person who's
Consignee is the person
sending the package.
Yeah.
Consignee
Oh, no.
is the
Oh, it's
person
not.
delivering.
No, consignee is
Receiver.
No,
The receiver.
Yeah, the receiver.
yes, that's it.
But
I've just
I never
done
heard
bloody
the word.
ADR. I know this shit.
I never heard
Got
the
it
word
wrong.
consignee before I started truck driving, and it was my second trucking job, and they used the word consignee, and like, but it wasn't like so. It was a very new word for me, like arrival at consignee, and like I think again, it's just I don't know.
We normally have consignor, which is the guy sending, carrier or driver, and then consignee.
Oh, okay,
We never use
Yeah,
consignor.
that's exactly right.
It's always
We just use
shipper.
shipper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shipper or consignee. Yeah.
But then, like with ADR and stuff like that, like Nessa, you've done ADR. I've just done my ADR course this week, and you learn a lot about that because if you're traveling with dangerous goods across internationally and things like that, you need to know this stuff because you need the relevant paperwork and
You can't take anything
Yeah.
without paperwork.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So we normally get like the paperwork that we get looks like. Do you know when you go to Asda and you get like a receipt?
right,
That's basically what we
so
get.
it's like a
most of the
Weybridge,
time.
waste transfer.
It's just a little ticket.
Oh.
Anyway,
And
so
usually
I think
I'll use it.
the proper phrase that you should put is the site customer, the customer site. All right, instead of just shortening
that could
down
be
to a
any
4-letter
site.
word.
Site.
This is
Yeah,
But if you
I
just
know
say
it's
site, it could be on the
There was
website.
still a
I'm
site
on
on
the
the
site,
other
right?
Having the conversation means that it's not a foolproof word. That's all I'm trying to say.
You're just
All right.
elaborating on site.
It's like
The
saying
word
next
site
Friday
is
got
in
anywhere
there.
Or
with
next Saturday. Don't confuse people and just
We
say the
just
exact day
circle
what you're talking
round.
about. I know this is like last year's topic. Always say when you're talking to a general audience, like what so it doesn't confuse people is all. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Can I get some of the patrons give us money? So some of the patrons, please, can you back me up on this? You can say whatever you want. It is what it is. Right. Tell you what. Let's talk about our guest. So, Chris, what got you into trucking?
So I've worked in a couple different industries throughout my life. Most of it, I actually working in a warehouse, and I always kind of looked at like trucking as something that I always thought, oh, that would be kind of interesting to do one day. But I just always put it off. There's obviously a high cost to get into it with the training and everything like that. And then I actually saw you doing it on YouTube. And there's a couple
He's
other
talking,
people.
just to clarify,
Tom,
everybody, he's
I saw Tom doing
What?
it on
You
YouTube.
saw Tom doing
yeah,
it?
yeah. I don't
No
know you.
way.
I don't know you.
Oh, I really thought it was me. Oh, I'm so embarrassed right now.
David's
So
killing himself.
I saw him doing it on YouTube, and I've been watching a couple other guys on YouTube as well. And
Look at that, me.
I think this is just the pandemic that started. No, I came across your videos and you actually from this podcast, but it was like right at the start of COVID. I'm sad.
Whatever.
We're all trapped
You're
inside.
not getting credit.
And my wife, my fiance at the time, was kind of like, why don't you just go for it? You're always like, she saw me playing Euro Truck Simulator, American Truck Simulator. She's like, why don't you go do the real thing? So there's kind of a few motivators, and I decided, fuck it, I'm going to do it.
Good on you.
You don't need to say oops, don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't sweat it, mate.
I will bleep the word oops. There we go.
Wait, oops is now a word that's going to get bleeped. People
No,
don't know
no,
what the other word.
just when you say it accidentally for saying fuck.
Can I just point out you got Trucker Marty in the chat saying David's going to be editing this heavily somehow in his favour, big styling. It's all about David.
All right. What was the process in actually kind of getting? Was it because over here? What? Okay. Well, wait a second. How did we actually? I'm trying to think what the process is here now. It's been so
we don't care about what the process is there. We're talking about that,
we've
Chris,
talked
right
about
now.
us. Come on.
All right. So
Okay, so the process here, the first thing you have to do is you have to get what's called a class 1 medical clearance. So I booked an appointment with my doctor, and that took a long time actually because he's very busy. Yeah, it took a long time. It was like a family doctor, so I called him. I said, I want to do this.
Why can't you just go to a regular? Because they have them down here in America. You just
CDL, CDL medical kind of thing. Yeah. So we do have those places here. They're not as heavily advertised, and knowing now after talking to other people, I did it the wrong way. They're like, never go to your family doctor. Never go to your family doctor.
It's more expensive as well, isn't it? Family doctors, I think.
So he was pretty cool because there was a bunch of stuff that happened. So he didn't actually charge me. He's like, you know what? We're just going to call this your yearly checkup, which is covered under like your Canadian health plan. So I went and saw him. And basically, it's they test you for blood sugar levels and stuff like that. Make sure you're not diabetic. They take your weight, height, vision test. And then there's about 10 boxes, and it's have you ever had yada 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 yada. So one of those boxes I had yes ticked, and that sort of made the whole process get dragged out. Oh yeah, big time. Yeah. So that gets sent away, and then they come back and they say, here's another form you have to fill out. This form I exchanged back and forth with the Ministry of Transportation, MTO they call it here. This is the provincial body, not a federal body. So I send them the form. They send it back. Oh, your doctor here, he put that, yes, you're on prescription medication, but he didn't list the medication. So, oh, fuck.
Right.
So I went back to see him. Hey, bud, you forgot to put the medication in. Oh, sorry about that. Let me put that in for you. I go back, send it away again. They go, okay, so he put the medication. He didn't put the dosages. Fuck.
Oh, no.
So gives it back to me and goes, hey, bud, me again. You didn't put the dosages. And all the in between each one of these was another, 3 to 4 week wait to get an appointment with him. Yes. Yeah.
No.
Yes. So the whole process from when I was I'm going to do it.
Everything.
Yeah, I know. Well, see, and this is the thing with him. He said, we're not going to lie to the government. So most of the stuff had happened. It was actually 2 years ago. But he said, we're just going to tick yes, just to err on the side of caution and to be
even
forthright.
if you have narcolepsy, say you don't have it.
Yeah, well, now I know this because talking to some other people, they're like, oh, you should have gone to this other place. Before you even sit down in the chair, they've already written down your blood pressure.
Yeah,
that's
what it was like for me. I went to this spot, and I swear down that when I went in there, the first thing I thought is, it was on this industrial estate, and it was down this little alley, and I thought to myself, yeah, I'm going to lose a kidney today. at least one kidney's going. I ain't getting out of this shit. And then the guy was just like, he didn't even. I'm sure. He didn't ask me any questions. Just ticking shit. I was like, "What are you ticking?"
What, just taking the money? If you go, bye.
So I was like, and I paid. And I was it. I was going. Medical, apparently. There we go.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't say that. Actually.
No, I know lots of people. They sit down in the chair. They have thick glasses. Oh, you got 20/20 vision, right? But of course, yeah. Let's write that down.
There was this guy. He was at least. I say now. This may sound like I'm exaggerating. I don't know what the conversion is in stone, but he was at least 500 pounds. All right. And everything he did, he walked really slowly, and then he got in and out of the truck slowly. And he was a local driver, and not just a local driver. He was an actual hostler, meaning as he backs trailers into docks.
Like a yard jockey.
Yeah, a yard
shunter.
jockey.
Yeah.
And if you ever wanted to learn how to do something the laziest way and still get away with it, you ask him, because he will find out the shortest way for everything to do, just as long as he got his job done. But I'd always ask him, how did he get his medical card? How did he pass his medical? There's no way in hell that he can do the same stuff.
If he's just a shunter and he's on private property, he doesn't actually need his license.
He still has to go on the public road. Yeah,
okay,
he's still driving. He's still driving a sleeper truck.
I was going to say, because they probably don't want to put him on the road because they're going to be worried about him being overweight on his steer axles, right?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, producer, what'd you say?
It's just over 35 stone, 500 pounds is.
35.
35
There
stones.
we go.
Yeah.
There we go. I knew that would get better reaction.
Wow. See, I was just there going, what that means. I don't know what that means.
35 so.
Yeah.
35.71 stones.
Hell.
Poor bugger. That must be really hard. I mean, fair play. He's still going though. Being a shunter as well, you're getting in and out all the time. That's
but here's what's crazy. In order to maintain that weight, all right, you have to eat a lot. You have to eat 4,000 calories a day. You know what I mean? That's just a number I throw out of my. You know what I mean? As in but because carrying that much weight, you know what I mean? You're burning a lot of calories. He burns way more calories than any of us. All right. But when you burn calories, and you got to, he replaces them. So that means I never saw him eating that much food. I don't know what he does at nighttime. Wow. Does he order 2 Domino's pizzas and just? But I thought it was crazy.
35 stone is insane.
He was the nicest person in the world, so we never gave him a hard time. But every time I ever saw him do something, if I ever wasn't busy, I'd come over and help him. Only because. Yeah, he's got to be struggling. You know what I mean? So, and he never turned down my help. That way, basically, he would just stay in the truck, and I would do all the hard work. I would do the cranking of the landing gear, the pulling of the airlines, the opening of the doors. You know what I mean? But just because I can.
Bill Gates once said, if you want to find out the best way to do something, ask one of the laziest stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I was saying, that's quite a renowned comment, isn't it? Yeah. It's quite a known one.
Yeah. But all
right, it works.
So
way, isn't it?
It is. No, I live by that motto. You know, I always find the laziest way to do everything. You know.
True fact. True fact.
All right, so you got your
shippers.
medical. We're going to cut to the end, and you got your medical, Chris.
So yeah, eventually you got my medical. So once you have that, then you have to go do like the written test. So here, there's the written test for, we call it the Class A in this province. Most other provinces call it the Class 1, which is your tractor trailer full articulating vehicle.
Yeah.
So you do the written test for that, and then you do the written test for your air brake endorsement, which is a separate kind of piece of the license. And once you have both of those, then you can apply to a school that is,
Okay.
they have to be approved by the province, basically.
Did you pass them all straight off the bat?
No, so I passed the first one right away. The air brake one, I rewrote it twice.
Yeah, I did. There was like 5 tests I had to take, and I failed them all.
Yeah.
So what sort
Every
of
one of them.
questions do you get in this?
I was in the lobby like doing the practice test on my phone, like, oh, I'm not paying again for this stupid
Yeah.
test.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
the exact same.
Yeah.
I had a flip phone back in the day.
So for me, it was the problem was, I guess that would be a problem, right? For me, it was a lot of this stuff. You get the questions like tractor protection valve. How would you test this? And like, I know I could do it physically, but when you get it in the test and it's a multiple choice, you're kind of like,
yeah,
eh.
yeah.
And so
You
that's a
overlook
lot
it,
of what's
don't
slipping me up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when you do them on a computer, and when you get one wrong, it tells you. So it's like you can only get X number of more questions wrong before you fail the test, and that starts putting pressure on you. So you're sitting there like,
That's horrible. So we don't find out until the end if you've passed once you've done your multiple choice.
I would
You basically
prefer
have
that.
to do it, and then you find out at the end, which is it's
Yeah,
annoying
I
if you
would,
have
I would much
failed,
prefer
but
that because
but
it
yeah,
just
if you've got the
takes all your
pressure-
confidence out when you start getting. You're like, I got
Yeah.
one
One
more question
lifeline.
I can mess up, and I have 2 questions left.
oh god,
Ours as
that's
well. It
awful.
doesn't tell you which ones you've got wrong, does it? It just tells you how many you've got
Yeah,
wrong.
it
Yeah.
just gives you like a percentage or something, doesn't it?
So you can't even, do research on the ones you've
I'll
got wrong
say
because
something,
they
David.
don't tell you.
You're
Yeah.
going for a leak.
David, you going somewhere?
You said don't say anything, Tom.
I just presumed that I didn't need to say it because Tom would be the only person that would mention it.
So I thought I would do it for him.
So just very quickly, David's needing a wee, and
He's trying to be
trying
sly
to
about
sneak
it.
off. So we,
And obviously we
us
made
being
such
us,
an issue
we have
last time we
not
just
let
walked
him.
off.
Where are you going, David? David,
did.
where are you going?
What?
Where are you going, David?
I'm going for a fucking leak.
Okay, splendid.
Thanks for telling
I want
us.
a beer. I want a beer.
That was the best thing ever.
I couldn't resist.
Tom!
I knew he was trying to do it sly.
Oh my god! I looked at the message and I thought, yeah,
So just
Tom's gonna say
for those
something.
people who are listening, on what we use to all talk to each other, we have a chat. So like throughout it, we've got messages coming in from Patreons, we've got messages coming in from producer telling us different things, or like there's different messages, and one just came up saying, "I'm going to take a leak. Don't say anything, Tom." Now, if you're going to say that, very
You're
clearly,
asking for it. You are asking
obviously I'm
for
going
it.
to say something. But
I jumped on it.
we
Sorry.
love you, David, by the way, for when you're editing this. If you hear this bit, you will be. I'm sure you will be.
we actually do.
I was doing a test for students going into SALT, and it was this again, like you were saying, multiple choice.
Uh-huh.
And you watch this like 12-minute video or something. You come back at the end of it, and answer all the questions. You've got one wrong. I was like, I've answered all of them correctly. So answer them all again. You've got one wrong. I'm like,
Oh, what? And you
"Fuck's sake,
have
what's
to get
going
them
on?"
all right.
So you had to. It was 100%. It was like 20 questions. Something
Right,
like that.
okay.
Went through it again, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" I couldn't work it out, and I worked out one of them was worded like in it because it was a multiple choice.
Yeah.
I was skimming through and going, "Oh
No, you
right,
have
this is
to
the
read
answer
the
I'm looking
question.
for,"
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
like, which something is not the place
Yeah.
to do this,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, for fuck's sake, it's the other one."
Yeah.
And it was only like on the third time I properly read it. So yeah, I will say multiple choice. That's a strange we, David. That looks more like a beer. David? Did you just go for a beer?
Yeah, I keep a cooler next to the toilet. Yeah, so.
Hashtag
It's a
efficiency.
continuous loop, right?
Yeah, you've got to replace the fluids that are leaving straight away. Yeah.
So I obviously done my ADR.
Gotta keep hydrated.
Top up this week. So obviously you get multi questions as well, whatever you call them, and you get like 4 answers to your question, but it's like those tests that you've really got to read it, and you're basically, the question gives you the answer if you read it and think about it properly.
Yeah.
And you normally there's 2 really pathetic ones that you go, oh, it's not them, and then you 50-50.
Should you set fire to your truck? Yes or no?
It is something stupid like that, and you're just like, yeah, they're not logical. So you normally melt it down to 50-50, and then you read the question again, and it's pretty obvious which one it is. But
so
I don't know what point that was, but
the schools that you go to. So what are the schools like? Because this is where it really starts. So what you've said so far is pretty much exactly the same it is in America and all that. So it's the rest where it starts fucking going into.
Yeah, and I also did things probably a little differently than most people would have. So I went and got the written test. Now at this point, you go to any government authorized school, basically, and a lot of these, like Jimmy's Truck Training Center and things like this. What you really want to look for, though, is there's something here in Ontario called TTSAO, which is like Transportation Training School Association of Ontario. I'm pretty sure it's called. Most companies won't hire you with no experience unless you went to one of these schools for insurance purposes. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, unless there's dodgy companies that'll for sure let you go there, but you're going to be driving.
And they're like,
but then you're going to be driving their equipment, and it's probably not the greatest. And those are all tickets to you as the driver if you get caught driving around on unsafe equipment, right? So
yeah.
So I checked out 2 different schools. One of them was a big chain, just truck driving place. And I thought it was all right. And then I also went to the place I now actually work. They had just opened their own school. They're a large trucking company. It's not one of the places where basically you go to their school and then you work for them and you get it for free. You have to pay them for it. I went and I toured their facility, and they had really nice equipment and a really big site. And I just had a feeling like this is the one. 53.
Okay, a lot of
and you're training in a sleeper truck too.
Okay,
so full size unit. That's another reason.
That.
Yeah, because the other place I went to, it was like a 48-foot trailer, and you're in a day cab, so that's not really going to give you. I mean, it still teaches you how to drive a truck, of course, but that's not the kind of equipment you're going to be in when you get out on your own.
Do they ever show like YouTube videos at your school?
Oh yeah, like in class stuff.
Any
Obviously
particular?
Didn't find you, David. So come
on.
Yeah,
actually, it's funny. No, they did show one of his videos when I was in the course, and actually the instructor did make a comment about this guy is great. I don't like his accent.
You never told me that earlier.
No, I was saving that one in.
What's wrong with the Irish accent? This guy is great, but his accent stinks.
Just turn him down a bit; he'll be fine.
Tom is gone.
To be fair to you, it was one of your older videos, and you did say a lot.
Oh, God. You know what I say
50,
as well?
Probably 50 or 60 times.
Oh shit! Did you all count it? Did you all have a drink? And every time he says the word you got to take a drink.
No, but I think he watches this video a lot, right? So he probably knows exactly how many.
I say as well.
And all right.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Shit.
All
right. But there's nothing worse than being brought this up. You know what I mean?
I will say, as someone who now someone who's actually created content, I'll watch some YouTube videos, and there are some ones I have to just click off. I was watching one on something I actually need the information that it was giving me. I needed to know it. But there was so many and there was at one point he was like, at one point he's like, let me just quickly check this website. Why did you leave that in? Why did you leave that in on the website, on the YouTube video? Why have you left that part in?
If they're downloading something, all right, let's just wait for this to download, and
they don't cut the video.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then, come on, dude,
exactly.
You can edit that part.
Mate. Come on, you could have just cut that bit out there. Some quick B-roll or something like that. Fucking hell. Yeah, it's. Oh, fuck
Yeah.
it blows my minds.
All right, so you're in school. How long is the school for? All right,
So-
skip to that part.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much where I am. So the total run time of the course was 6 weeks.
Okay, I like that.
6
Yeah.
weeks.
What the
Yeah.
fuck? Well, how long do you do for Chloe?
You don't do school time. You
Oh my
literally do.
god.
You do.
Oh, really?
Well,
I
if
was
it's
in the truck
class
for
one-
16 hours and then did my test.
If
I
you're doing
kidding
class
me.
one,
I paid
And I
for an
passed.
intensive course, which
Yeah.
I paid quite a lot of money for, and
It was 20
I did
hours.
4 days.
yeah,
was
if
mine.
you do
Yeah.
4 days with your class, you're rigid, and then if you do your class one, you only do 3 days. That's it.
Oh, it might be that actually. Yeah.
I mean, if you fast track it, you can do 3 days. Done.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
you got your
you can-
license.
you
at
can-
Does
the
that
end.
include the time in the truck too?
That's all the time in the truck.
There's
Yeah,
no
that's
minimum
insane.
There is
requirement.
nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just as
Okay.
long as you pass your test. Yeah.
Yeah.
'cause-
I mean,
yeah.
obviously, you have the pre-test before your written theory and hazard perception.
I love that it's still called
and your
written. There's no
case
writing
studies.
involved.
But yeah, after that, it's just you go out, you do that, and then you got your CPC, and you do a little CPC test, which is like a multi-test and show me, tell me, basically. You walk around the truck, look for drugs, look for people that might be
Oh,
stood on the
looking
roof
for
or
dr-
hood
look for
underneath-
drugs?
Yeah,
Look for drugs
Literally,
and look
they
for
say,
immigrants.
you've got
You
to
also
get
have
the
to look
say
for immigrants as
whereabouts
well.
for people stored.
Look for an
drugs, like,
immigrant
when
with
they're-
drugs.
I mean,
and you
that's-
have to look around everything. You've
Oh,
got to
no,
like
no,
look on your truck for immigrants.
do
You got to
that.
look under
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
all sorts of stupid stuff.
Yeah, so
I
we
did
can.
mine.
The government here requires the course has to be at least 103 hours in the classroom, before
Just
you
in the
actually go out.
classroom.
Yeah,
That's at least 2 weeks.
to understand the whole Schedule 1, like what's expected of you legally as a driver and everything like that, and all. I mean, there's a ton of regulations too when it comes to hours of service and everything else like that. So you couldn't learn all of that and understand it in 3 days.
I think so much of that can be done online. All right.
Yeah.
Like I like eventually when I get off my lazy ass, I want to create an actual website to where it replaces the classroom, because the classroom is so stupid. You don't need to be in it because you're listening to somebody and sometimes you're just not understanding what they're saying.
Uh-huh.
All right. And you're kind of afraid to even say something. And like, so, okay. Then the teacher goes, okay, everyone understand that? No.
Sure.
I was pretty lucky with mine. Like the instructor is a really good guy, and we had a pretty
I'm
good group
complete
too. We
moron
all got
when it comes to
along.
being taught,
So
by the way, I don't understand
Okay,
anything if
yeah.
someone tells me something. So a lot of times I just didn't want to be embarrassed when someone actually asked me, like, does anybody have any questions? Like 15, but no.
Go on.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm like, oh god, seriously, and I really wish I spoke up. But the thing is, nobody wants someone to speak up because that means the lessons
continues
even
on.
longer now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at least if you're doing it online, if you're doing it where you can actually rewind the video and all that, I don't know. I hate the classroom because I had so many students that just didn't know what they were talking about. Like seriously, they spoke about this in school, and you don't know this. Like, how do you not know the name of this, or how do you not know that you're supposed to do this, and blah blah blah? It's just
I
because
don't know.
they didn't know.
I've been driving for four and a bit years now, David. I still don't know what I'm talking about.
Sometimes
So-
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, wait a second. I've been 20 years driving, and that's what it's called? I've always just to call it this. Whatever.
What was
You
the
know.
word that you were saying before? The consignee or something like that, was it?
Oh yeah.
Or the consignor? Or fuck no.
The consigner,
Do you want
the
me?
consigner, and the consignee. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think you necessarily know that unless you're doing like ADR or something. Really, it's not something you're gonna learn, are you? Unless you're doing.
Definitely
get
a ton of
stoned,
stuff
that's pretty much
on the
it.
actual truck that I don't know the name of. I was told once or twice, but because I don't use it on a daily basis or a weekly basis or even a monthly basis, I don't know what the name of it is. You know, it's just that.
So the only
So
classroom
yeah.
stuff we have to do, obviously, is the CPC, which we've discussed before. So we got every 5 years we've got to have completed 35 hours. That's it,
yeah.
and that's over.
So like we did
what,
a whole
5?
week just on air brakes, just on how they work,
I
all the
don't-
different types. Have to know what each of the little components of them are and everything like that.
But
how the
surely that's
system
quite
works
quick, 'cause
and-
You've only
Here's
got
my-
3, haven't you?
Yeah, but how
Here's my
could-
problem with that. Why? Can you just explain why? As in, like, you know what I mean? It's like, you don't need to know the names. You don't need to know the.
No, they're just there.
Because that's what's
type.
required of you. Though,
Oh, I know it's
right?
required, but that's
so that's why they teach it.
You can only take so much information in. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
a lot of the stuff you
So
do learn
in that
you
week,
forget.
it wasn't all just in the classroom in that week. So like I was saying before, you do your written test for the air brake endorsement, but the actual practical you performed there. So we did a couple days in the classroom. We did another kind of written test, the same one that you do at the ministry, but they just give you another one because they're not going to bring you out into the truck to have you demonstrate it if you can't like demonstrate that you understand it on paper.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then we did like 2 days kind of outside. You run through all the different tests, you know, like you do tractor protection valve. You have to learn how to measure push rod stroke. Even though most of the stuff I use now is all disc brake.
Push rod stroke.
Yeah.
What's a push rod stroke?
Sounds wrong.
It's on your Schedule 1. So your drum brake.
Are you saying I should know this?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't.
Well, this is a huge deal.
And
What is it?
so I've
What is
gotten
it?
lucky.
So
by-
the
by
drum
not
with a
knowing-
drum brake, there's a rod that push rod, and that expands the drum to kind of push on the shoe. That's my
Yeah, okay.
understanding of it, and that slows it down. So there's for each different type of brake drum, there's a specified like travel distance of that push rod. So if it exceeds that limit, like let's say it can only be out, let's say 2 3/4 of an inch. So if it's 3 inches, then that air brake is it's out of adjustment and it's out of service. You can't operate the vehicle.
You know what's messed
I've
up
never used
is that
drum brakes.
trucking companies make us stupid. All right, because our trucking companies, everyone I've ever worked for, don't touch the brakes. Don't ever touch.
Oh yeah,
them. Don't
no,
adjust
they don't
them.
say don't adjust
Don't do
them,
anything
but
because
you have to
everything-
measure them.
Yeah, because basically, everything's automatic. All right, you have automatic this and automatic that. Don't
Oh,
ever
yeah,
touch
but-
them. You can look. You can shine a flashlight on them all you want, but don't ever touch them. You know, and because there is it's just that's just the way that they are nowadays. So it's just a lot of time because because everything's automatic now. You have a computer inside in your truck that tells you exactly what's wrong and everything is. And they don't want you doing anything. They want you to go to an actual professional mechanic, But so
Well,
all
yeah,
this
you
stuff-
wouldn't adjust them yourself for sure. They tell you the same
Well,
thing.
no,
Don't
what-
actually
you
don't start wrenching on that stuff. But you can measure the push rod stroke.
I think it's
without,
an inch of
without
free
doing
play,
it.
basically, as in like but is a lot.
Yeah,
of
and most like our stuff's all automatic slack adjusters too. So if it is out of adjustment, most of the time you can fix that by doing a 6-pack.
maybe
right.
that's just a term to use up in Canada. Can you explain what a 6-pack is?
So basically, you release the brakes and then you push
it's a
in
manual thing you're doing. Gotcha.
the brake pedal 6 times, and then you'll kind of hear the slack adjusters making that like clacking noise as they adjust.
Mhm, yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe you
I
guys
never knew what it was
no
called,
idea what
but
you're
yeah.
about.
Wait,
Basically,
is that what,
you're
right? Is that the noise that you can go?
Yeah.
Thing is that what that is?
Yeah,
It's a 6-pack.
it's a slack
Chloe,
adjusters
are we learning
adjusting.
stuff today?
I'm learning stuff today. What are you talking about? I just don't know what anything's
so
called. I
bad.
just know how to do something. Is the thing, every time that a lot of time you just keep on pressing the brake until it feels good, and then eventually it's by feel. Yep, that's exactly how the brake should be. But
You just get used to it.
And I
don't
just
you?
saw Timo's comment there. It's the same thing with us. They don't want us to even change wiper blades. But let's say you need a new wiper blade, but they call you, oh yeah, we can get you an appointment, 6 days from now. You're probably going to change the wiper blade, right? So
and pay for it yourself.
yeah. Oh no, they'll reimburse you for it, but
Yeah.
good.
But I'm just saying I would pay for it myself, except for waiting for. But I'd like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
I would
no, for
wait
sure.
as long as they're getting paid hourly.
yeah,
While
no,
I'm
that's the
waiting.
thing. They might put you in a hotel too, right? So sometimes might say,
But-
I'm going to be down in Florida in a couple weeks, and this.
I'm just gonna.
I think there's a
conveniently
crack
break
in my
down.
windshield, right? Yeah. Oh, my headlight bulb just went out. Got to take it to the
I didn't
dealership.
put a hammer to it whatsoever.
You know what's
Someone
strange?
smashed it. Weird.
You know what's strange? We're American drivers who don't go through the same schooling as Canadians. All right, we can drive in that country, and like I've driven all over Canada. All right,
Yeah.
they have a few different rules when it comes to the weight distribution, which I'm not going to bore you, Chloe. And they have different hours of service. They can drive.
Yeah.
They have a longer days because the distance between Winnipeg and Vancouver is so long that they have to stretch it out so they actually can get somewhere. I don't know.
But
I can't
Winnipeg,
remember
that's halfway.
is that yeah? Well, halfway.
Yeah,
from one side to the
Winnipeg's
other.
like dead center in the country, pretty much.
Yeah, that's actually as far as I've gone. It's actually Winnipeg.
Okay. Yeah.
Vancouver.
Yeah,
to Winnipeg.
basically, we can work longer and sleep less, but we have
Oh,
a
yeah, what
longer
is your sleep?
reset.
What's
So
what's
you
your,
you still need 10 hours off duty, but only 8 hours of that has to be together. and then
what
we
do you mean
can drive
together?
13 hours. So like you have to take 8 hours off duty together to reset your daily clock.
Okay.
But
But
you
what's
still
it-
need 10 hours off duty in a 24-hour period in total.
So that
Oh.
counts as your daily rest as
That's
well.
Daily
your
rest,
daily,
yeah.
your daily rest. So,
Okay.
and then like, you know how you have your 14-hour clock in the US? From the moment
Yes.
you start, you have 14 hours to stop. We have that, but it's a 16-hour clock. But in that 16 hours, we can only be on duty, which is working or driving, for 14 hours. And then we can drive for 13 hours.
Okay. So once 13
it's
hours.
a-
Okay. So yeah. Okay.
So we
I
have three
understand.
clocks. We have 3 clocks to think about, basically.
We have an 8-hour where you have to stop after once you've reached 8 hours
30-minute
of
break.
driving.
I hate that. I hate the
once
30-minute
you have
break.
8 hours of driving, because they used to be they changed that to basically there was a stop clock as soon as you started work. As soon as the truck started moving, there was an 8-hour stop clock. All right, but now it only calculates the drive time. So basically, you can stop for 10 minutes, and that's fine. It puts it and it stops. But anyway, sorry, we're boring people. I can tell what's boring people and
I
what's
have
not.
no idea
All
what
right?
you're on about.
All I have to do is watch Chloe's eyes and like, all right, I need to speed it up. All right, let's keep her going because we got to remember we are entertainers here. We have to be entertaining the people.
So
It
technically,
just zones out.
technically, in the UK, we can have less breaks than you on some days.
Yeah, but so
if
what's
we do-
your
if we do
weekly
an-
limit? How many hours can you work in 7 days, let's say?
So, problem is, in the UK, it's more complicated. They've kind of added more steps to it. So if you do night, so it's a bit of a you could do 4.5 hours of driving, or maximum 4.5 hours of driving, and then you need a 45-minute rest. Well, I won't go into there's you can break it down to like 15 and 30. We'll just say every 4.5 hours you'll take a 45-minute rest. So you can do 9 hours of driving. So technically you can do 4.5 hours or as close as you can do, and then do 45 and then another 9.5, or another another 4.5 up to 9 hours. But there are days you can extend that to 10 hours of driving. And so that because you were saying that you've got an electronic device to actually check your you've got like a little device where you can check on how much like driving time you've done, but it doesn't work the same as ours, does it? Because we were talking about this the other day, where ours, if we stop at a traffic light for 2 minutes, that's not counting up our driving
working
time.
directed,
The second that you stop, it then clicks over to working time. But for you, it is still on drive time.
Yeah,
you can manually put it on duty.
I mean, you can stop and either pull the brake, and that will say, "Oh, the vehicle has set the brakes. Do you want to switch to a different like class of activity?" The other thing in our trucks, if you haven't been moving for 5 minutes, it pops up with the same message. The only thing that you have to worry about doing that, so because some guys do that, they go, "Oh, I'm sitting in a traffic jam, off duty." But then let's say you get pulled into like a scale, and the DOT looks at that. Oh, you went off duty in the middle of this interstate, and then somehow you traveled 0.9 miles while you're off duty on the interstate. So they could give you a ticket for falsifying your logbook. And that's not a nice fine. So
you go on duty. I know.
Yeah, on duty waiting, right? That's sometimes I do that.
There's definitely sometimes the road was closed. I was like, there was a traffic jam because there was a crash or whatever. And like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, obviously I'm not driving. You know what I mean? My legs are up on the dashboard, and I'm just sitting here waiting. You know?
I would do that too. I'd call that on duty waiting.
Yeah.
Well, the way I look at it is because you're not supposed to be on your phone if the keys are in the ignition. So yeah, that's what they say. So if I'm in a traffic jam, I'll take my keys out and I'll put them on the dashboard, like kind of like in an obvious way, because you know some dickhead will turn around and take a picture or something like that, and then you can say, "You've got a driver here on the
calls your boss.
He's watching
I'm
YouTube."
going to phone his company.
Exactly, yeah. So I put my keys on, but if my keys are on the dashboard, I'll put it on brake. So the way I'm looking at it is, at that point there, I'm not working, am I?
You're not going.
So
anywhere.
What you're saying with the brake though, in Canada, you can drive. You could start your day. You could drive for 13 hours straight with no brake, and that's completely fine.
Wow.
That's the US that
I
needs
wouldn't
the
like to do
30-minute
that.
break.
Jeez.
If we did that.
Yeah, that's the US that has that rule. So when we
So
go
you
into the
don't
US,
need an actual break.
no, there's no break.
I mean, surely you
There's no
need a
break.
toilet break.
Yeah, you
You ain't gonna
can.
make it that far without.
I'm
it,
just
will
saying legally though, what the
I don't know.
regulation says.
I've seen many
you can
bottles of
sleep
piss
8
that will say
hours.
otherwise.
You can sleep 8 hours and drive for 13 hours straight, and that's completely fine.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Oh,
Yeah. So because that
yeah.
used to be the way it was,
Me.
we didn't need a mandatory break. Personally, when the 8-hour break came out, the mandatory break after 8 hours, again, it was 8 hours. Everything doesn't matter what you did. Again, like and then 30-minute would actually reset it. I love that option. I think that was a great option because there's definitely many times that my boss or I felt like that I needed to pressure that I had to get there on time. It's just
Yeah, to keep
I
going.
I felt
now
like
they
I needed
can't
to
do that, yeah.
but anyway, but when they brought it out, I thought it was fantastic. And like, yes, this is good. I love having a break that I absolutely don't have to work. Because I always felt like I always had to be moving.
Whoever
constantly.
came up with the 13-hour day thing clearly plays a lot of World of Warcraft. That's the only explanation to that. That's the only thing I can figure out because they must just sit and just play World of Warcraft.
The reason that we have that though is the distances between cities is greater. There's not as many. We don't have the same infrastructure as the U.S. does. We don't have as many truck stops. We don't have as many rest areas. And then also for team drivers. So in the U.S. with only having 11 hours of driving, the truck is not going to be moving at some point in the day. The truck is going to be sitting even with 2 team drivers. Whereas in Canada, that truck could be rolling constantly.
Yeah.
So it's
What's
just
what's the max amount of hours? Do you have a 70-hour rule?
Yeah, we do. We have a 70-hour in 7-day cycle. So one day
you
less.
Can only be on duty and driving no more than 70 hours in 7 days.
7 days, yeah. So on the 8th day, you get on the 8th day, you get the hours you worked on the first day back. Whereas in the States, that's an 8-day cycle. So be on the 9th day, you get the hours you worked on the first day back.
Yeah.
Wow, that's confusing.
I can see. Yeah, I can see Chloe's.
It's not that complicated. It's just like a rolling. Basically, every week, if you work every day, for a whole week, on the 8th day. So let's say you started on Monday. So next Tuesday, the hours you worked the previous Monday are now added back to that clock. So whereas if you fully exceed those hours, you have to do like a full cycle reset.
Out of curiosity, how many hours of consecutive off-duty / sleeper do you get to reset everything?
36 hours in Canada.
All right, ours is 34, so we're better than you. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to say that.
I heard someone was telling me that's where a lot of American drivers.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Where a lot of American drivers get in trouble is they only do a 34-hour reset and then they drive into Canada. And then they're in violation immediately as soon as they cross the border.
It is so weird when you do it like that. They actually wouldn't let us use Canadian laws when it comes to our hours of service when we went up there. No, you do this. I don't care if they say that you can drive 12 hours or 13 hours or whatever, right? You can only drive 10. All right. So they just
wow.
Yeah.
Wait, so technically, right? So okay, right. I'm an American trucker, and I've been going around kind of close to the borders, near Chicago, stuff like that, and I'm going over, like, say, New York, and then coming back, and then so I've reset. I've done a 34-hour reset, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And then on Thursday, he then says I need to go over to somewhere in Canada.
Yeah.
Because I've only done 34 hours, technically to go to Canada, I'd have to sit for 36 hours.
No, not necessarily.
No.
That would be.
You don't. Yeah.
Yeah, so they always look at the previous 14 days, let's say, or previous 8 days. So you might have enough time left on your clock, depending on how many hours you've worked in the previous 7 days, where you'd be fine. The only thing that could screw you over is, let's say you fully maxed out your 70-hour clock. You're at the border, still in the U.S., you haven't crossed, and you take a 34-hour reset. The moment you're halfway over that bridge, you're now in violation of the Canadian hours of service.
Right, I'm with you.
So that's where it would get you. The other thing is we have different rules for personal conveyance. So in Canada, you can only use personal conveyance, which is driving the truck while off duty. So if you're going to go to a restaurant, groceries, things like that, you can basically put the truck into personal conveyance mode, where it doesn't count against your 70-hour clock. So
does it count against your drive time?
Weird names
no,
for it though.
It does not.
Okay, so it doesn't count against any rule.
It's the same as the American one, except
Yeah.
we can't have a trailer, and there's a maximum distance. We can't do more than
That's
75
understandable.
kilometers. But if you do PC in the States with a trailer on, when you come back into Canada, they count that time as on duty. So if you
Wow, that's
yeah,
just weird. Okay.
It is, different laws are different. What about like in India? Or,
No, we don't. Tom.
there's
We don't
none.
have that.
You just drive. You just
well-
drive.
Just drive.
So we can, if we're not hiring for reward, we don't need a taco. So like horse lorries, things like that. Because there you go. Ness is just
So
Reward.
right, okay,
have
so,
an out of scope.
for here, out of
Yeah.
scope. So technically, right? Because I did wonder because I've heard people say, oh, they've taken the truck down to down to a restaurant, they've unhooked the trailer. So technically, if I am near a town, could I pull my
Yeah.
card and drive somewhere? Do I have to do a manual printout, or
You'd have to do a
does that
manual
work?
printout, and I don't think it's worth it because you've got to prove it, haven't you?
God, this trucking
And-
podcast,
'cause,
we
like,
really are talking about trucking, aren't
for
we?
Holy
example,
shit, we are.
for example, if you're going to a truck
We've lost so
show,
many people.
you don't really need to put your taco card in. But obviously, if you win something, technically, you should have had your taco in.
Win
So
something.
it's all
Wait.
it's for
What's-
hire and reward. So if you win something, for example, you win like truck
The
of
lotto.
the year or something,
Oh, okay.
then they'll say, well, actually, you've got a trophy, so that's your reward. So therefore, you should have been under taco regulations.
Wait.
Yeah.
What?
With same with
That
horse
doesn't-
lorries.
that's-
Obviously, they're not under taco rules, so they don't have to follow these rules. But if they go there and win a rosette, for example, or a bale of hay, they've got a reward. So that's hire and reward. Technically, they should be under the rules.
So them horse boxes you see, and you can see all of the ribbons and trophies
Yeah.
they've won. Technically, they're running
they should have
illegal.
taco. Yeah.
Oh, fucking horses! I knew horses were shit. That is what we've learned today. Horses are
all
shit.
of this has led up to
right.
horses.
All right.
It
okay,
counts as well for truck shows because if you go to a truck show with your company, you
Yeah.
can drive that company vehicle without a tachograph in.
Yeah.
But if you win an award at Truckfest for Company of the Week or whatever,
yeah.
then because you've got a reward.
technically
Yeah, you
should
totally.
have
Yeah.
taco in.
Ours
broken
is
the law,
worded
yeah.
a bit more ambiguously. It's we can't do anything that I'm trying to remember what it says that improves the
Ambiguously.
operational effectiveness of the carrier. So if you let's say you PC from somewhere to your house, and then they call you up and they go, "Hey, we see you're at home, and we have this pickup that's there." Technically, that could invalidate your previous personal conveyance. You would have to
Oh wow, so it's not
you would
worth
have
it
to
then,
move
really.
back. Yeah, I've only used it once. Basically, I had just picked something up, and I was in the U.S. and I had like 11 minutes left to finish that 30-minute break, and I was like, "Well, fuck, I don't want to just sit here for 11 minutes." So I went to
11
a
minutes
coffee
is a
shop.
lifetime.
It is, especially when they're like, "Okay, you picked up. Like, you need to get out of our yard now, right?" There's other trucks sitting there waiting for you to move. So
See,
I used it
So you
once.
can pull your
right?
card at the end of the day, but you can't. So because we're you were showing me, it does look better the machine that you're using.
Yeah,
they've
so
got
we
like
don't
a
have
proper...
tachograph. It's like we have ELDs, so electronic logging device. It's a similar idea. It's like a tablet basically.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
it shows like a graph and shit like that rather than just having like a fucking...
Stupid.
It shows you
rules
it shows you
Oh,
how long you've
stupid.
been at a place. It shows you if you were driving or on duty. It shows you the location of where you're at. It's not
That's
a piece
cool.
of it's not a disc that scratches out a little thing on it. Isn't that what a tachograph?
So and
Isn't what-
that graph that I showed you, Tom, that is just we used to have to do, not me because this has been the ELD mandate has been in since I started driving, but used to do a paper log. And
Just
so
quick,
that
can
that
we have
graph
some
is
Are
yeah.
we allowed to
No, we're
show
not.
some pictures of this or not?
No, we're not.
We're
Why?
just not. Oh, right. We're not.
Wait,
allowed
are
to
you
show.
asking me to do more work?
Oh, okay, right, okay. I mean,
Yeah.
That's
And
a
by the
yes.
way, we don't
just
do
so people can see like
the
a picture.
frisbees
Let me see
anymore,
if I have
David.
one.
We have cards, actual
Yeah.
cards.
Oh, that's right. You get cards.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I gotta rewind for a second. All right, so let's just to
Is he
clarify.
going for another
right?
whiz? No. Oh, okay.
No, I'm
You
good.
don't left
I'm
a
good,
message
I'm good.
about going for a piss, yeah?
So, school. All right. So, Canadian school. Let's just clarify to make sure we have everything
Yeah.
on track. All right. So we have 6 weeks of actual school, 100 hours of in class,
So-
and driving?
That's the legal requirement. The course I chose did 200
All right.
hours.
Now, the other questions that I want to
total,
as well,
yeah.
all right, what are the requirements and skills? All right. Now, when it comes to backing up, is there like a certain back that you have to maneuver? Is there like the parallel park, the 90-degree, the alley dock, the offset,
so
and all
you
that
can
kind of junk?
you either get you get given one backing maneuver to perform, and it's either
Okay.
the alley dock or the offset. I got the offset.
All right, Chloe, do you know what those mean? Basically,
reverse
to
the lorry.
pass the English test, all right, you basically got to do an offset, but it's a wide offset. All right, so you start off in
Okay.
position. You start off over here, but you got to
one
end up
parking
back here.
space and
I'm
get
sorry
into
for those
another
people who
parking
are
space,
doing the
yeah.
audio. Most of you guys already know how to
It's
do
like a
this. but-
parallel park,
So it's not
basically.
like a
It's like a
bicycle
parallel
maneuver.
park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one that basically that
is the only
what
one you
we
do.
did. Well, it was.
You know, in
but it's
Ireland,
not
they're
anymore.
required to
No,
back
true.
around the corner. Did you know that?
So that's better.
What,
I
blind
think
side or
that
normal
should
side?
be.
Normal side.
Okay.
I was
That
talking to a
makes more
driver, and I
sense.
think it was Indiana, and he said that they had to do 3 different maneuvers. They had to do the 90, the
Wow.
alley, and the offset. And if they failed any one of those, they had to do the whole thing over again.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Washington state law was very minor. Or I think maybe Oregon too, but again, I butchered it completely because they gave us a small trailer to do the test in, and it wasn't reacting the way that I was taught because I practiced on big trailers, and the big trailer was easier to see what was happening, but a smaller trailer it
comes
wasn't.
around quicker.
And it
So
was
I don't
just
know
like,
if you guys can see this. This is the graph Tom was talking about. That's what our
Oh, yeah.
tablet looks like.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
And that's just
David
what
loves you right now.
No editing for me.
All right, and and of course
So,
you passed your test. And Chloe, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just about to say, well, you're pretty much going with it. I was like, gonna say, how long did the whole process take then? In the end,
the whole
time?
process was
from
6 weeks.
From the very start to the very end.
Yeah,
how
6
long
weeks.
did it take?
But
So
that
it
was
was
an
like
extreme
two
course.
weeks
There's a
in
lot
the
of courses that
classroom.
are not that long, are there?
It was just
With
2
your
weeks in
mid-
with the
With your
actual test.
the medical as well.
Oh, with
When
the
you
medical.
start the medical,
God.
Chloe, you
I've
nailed
nailed it.
that.
So the medical added like 4 months to the whole
Well, that
thing.
was
So it
that
was
out of
probably
pure...
about six
That was
6
unlucky,
months
yeah.
from the moment I said I'm going to start till I was licensed. Probably about
Bloody
6
hell.
months.
Okay, so
But 4 months of that was my own fuck up.
was
so.
messing around and yeah.
did you find, because on the CPC courses, like, it's basically we have to do these we have to do each year we've got to do a day course on
7 hours, isn't it?
just bollocks. Basically, it is absolute bollocks.
I like
And
it.
so the government came in and was like, okay, we want drivers to do this amount of this many courses over the course of 5 years.
yeah.
Go and figure this out. And on a lot of the courses, you can tell that they're just filling for time. Like, and they'll even say stuff like they'll even say stuff like, oh, well, if there's no jout officer coming in by this time, we'll kind of wrap it up a little bit and we'll kind of do this one a bit faster. And yeah, so they'll kind of you can tell they're just filling for time. Did you find that with the course that you did, where what you were actually doing that day wasn't really?
So basically, the first 5 weeks was the normal course, and then I had actually already passed my test by this time. But because I was doing the longer course, there was a couple more days that I had to still come in just to get the certificate. And the second last day, he said, "Today is a course about fuel consumption." I hate this segment. Basically, we're going to spend 10 hours of me telling you how to take your foot off the accelerator.
Wow. Wow.
And it basically was that. Well, these are different ways that you can improve your fuel consumption. You can not accelerate as aggressively. Blah blah blah. And it was all just shit like that.
This sounds like a CPC course.
Yeah, pretty much.
But the most of we got like
Tell
the
us
one
what
thing
to
I
do.
liked about doing that extra thing though was we got 4 extra days of backing practice. It was just the whole class, and we just had one unit basically. But I found that was worth the money in itself because at this point I have my license, but I'm like, I don't know how to drive this thing. I somehow pieced enough together to pass the course, but like if you were to give me keys right now and say go out on the road, I'd say no.
You know what's weird? That has happened to people. The amount of people that has literally happened to, like I knew that I couldn't hop in a truck and just start driving it. I knew that.
I mean, surely there must be another way you could learn how to reverse a truck, like a truck and trailer, some kind of must be like
maybe?
an app or something like that.
You know what I mean? As in like
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know.
Some
I
way
could
to
think
improve
maybe
your
like,
trucking skills.
yeah, trucking skills.
Someone's
Yeah,
gonna do
like,
it.
Well
maybe there
played.
would be. Maybe
Someone
there
had
would
to
be.
do
You get paid afterwards.
You know, it would be nice to like how to when you have a customer, all right, when you knowing what customer. I'm trying to really transition. Sorry, Tom, help me out here
You're
in this
doing
one.
terribly at this. I was just
did.
going to go with.
No.
They don't tell you get
I'll let-
stickers,
I'll let
do
you-
they?
I'll let you flounder for a little
Woo!
while.
Oh, stickers! My trucking skills. There we go. Yeah,
Aw.
absolutely.
Wow, well done.
Install them, everything.
Yeah, they don't tell you about
All right,
how
fuck
people
it.
help you. Go on.
We're going to a new topic. Just
Yeah,
to give
yeah,
people a heads up so you're not confused. All right. Now, Tom had a great topic that I'm actually very interested to find out what the answer
We
is.
just
And
want
I'm
to see
sure
the picture.
the picture. Oh, here is a picture of Tom's new
Well, no,
stickers
no,
that he
no,
got
no,
from.
no, no, no,
Oh, wait,
because
there's no
it-
news.
Right. No, because
Don't worry.
it
Have you
doesn't-
got to set the
you-
scene?
We at least set the scene.
Okay, come on then.
All
It's
right.
not
Well,
a very, I will say it's not a very long story. So,
Come on then.
but it brings
was
it to a topic.
Allegedly.
kinda. Yeah, we'll see.
He just wants to tell a
just,
story.
I just want to. I just want to tell people that I got stickers this week, and I'm really happy about it.
How, how did you get your stickers?
How did you get your stickers?
So there's a plan. I'll actually say the quarry name, Barden, which is in Colville,
5 stars?
and 5 stars. Well, for this time, we won't say any more on that. And so yeah, we went into the went in, and we have to go under the plant. And as I've previously mentioned, I don't like going under the bins where basically you get loaded from overhead.
David just can't be bothered to edit that.
There's the
So with
stickers
the
that Tom
picture.
got. Look at that smile.
Yeah.
Look
I
at
was-
those
I was
eyes. He's
very
so
happy that
proud.
day.
He's so happy.
Very, very, very happy that day. So I went under the bin. I was going to go under the bins, and I didn't want to. And the last on the weighbridge gave me a sticker for going under the weighbridge and not complaining.
Aw.
That's
Not
great.
only she actually
The
gave
bar
me
is
2 in the
set so
end.
low.
Right, not only did and the thing was right. So she said, and apparently she also has them for people who scan like we've got something called an MPQC Connect card. It's for an extra course that you've got to do to be authorized to go on certain quarries because you might die.
Rules and
That's
stuff,
not
yeah.
great. And so you've got to scan, and anyone who scans it and doesn't complain gets a sticker. And
Aw.
the thing is, it's so stupid. But as a tipper driver, there's something about it where I don't know, just the child
you
in
feeling
me.
a bit rewarded.
It genuinely, she gave me these stickers, and I genuinely was happy about this. I was genuinely like I even took a picture as you've seen. I was really happy about this. But
It's nice when you get stuff from places you go. I had a place
Well,
that gave me mustard. Like there was a mustard place, and they gave me a ball of mustard, and I was like, "Oh my god, thank you so much!" And I went in.
Yeah,
I
right?
tried some, and it was horrible.
That's
but
so
I was still
random.
so I was still
Doesn't matter.
so happy. I was like, "I'm gonna
You
eat
don't
all."
have to buy it now,
you were
though.
giving
You didn't have to
stuff
pay
for
it.
Yeah.
Like
But,
I used to,
but this is my point. Is there anywhere that you guys have been where you've been given something, or like they're just like it just feels like they've just gone? You've not just been treated like just a truck driver. You've been like treated actually nice and respectful. And, like,
VIP.
and the fact
Yeah.
is that mustard place, you didn't like the mustard, but every single time you go there from now onwards, you'll remember that, won't you?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had a just a general public that I had a skip to go and collect. This was like last year when we had the really hot weather, and I had Logan with me at the time. And this couple were really nice to me, and they were just like doing everything, going, "Oh, would you like an iced coffee? Would you like this?" And they literally
Yeah.
just brought out like a hamper for me. And they were like, saw I had my little boy, and they were like, "Here's some sweets for him. Here's some chocolate. Here's some iced coffee. Here's a drink for later."
Holy crap.
Literally, it was the best place I'd ever been, and it was just a general customer, and it was just like, wow, why can't everyone else do that?
I once got given, but when I was on for Travis Perkins, this customer once gave me, and she was like, she goes, "Oh, why don't we go and get you something for all your hard work?" And she came out with brisket, like as in like
Yeah.
meat,
What?
and like I said, and
Awesome.
it was the middle of the summer.
What,
It
cooked
was
brisket or
absolute-
just?
cooked? Yeah, cooked. And like, but it was
Raw.
like, it
Here's
was
a
like
slab around.
and I was like, and I said to her,
You got a
I said,
fridge,
I
right?
don't have a fridge. And so, anyways, he had to sit in the cab with me for the entire fucking time, just getting warmer and warmer. I was like, why? I really
Did you hate
appreciate it,
it?
but well, no, because you've been sat getting warm in the fucking cab.
You should have sat there.
Why
and
would
gone,
you give a truck driver brisket? How the
At
even
least
if
it wasn't
was a
raw,
tramper,
or
how
at least
the
it wasn't
fuck am I supposed-
frozen.
Fuck knows.
That's very random.
Do you know who Frito Lay is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I used to have a
Walkers.
route.
Nope, no idea.
Basically, they're a
It's
crisp.
Walkers.
They're a crisp.
Oh,
company.
okay. Lays.
It's basically
Lays.
yeah. It's who owns Walkers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I know.
I was there every day, literally every day. That was my route, and they give you free crisps, and that was awesome. You know what I mean? I was like, and they give you lots, like because it's nothing to them. It's literally nothing. It doesn't cost them anything. You know, they're like, and they keep people happy, and it's just all about keeping people happy. Sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
like I do remember. I couldn't in 20 years of me driving. It happens so many times where you get free stuff. All right, but a place that actually provides free coffee, always a bonus. All right,
Yeah.
a place that actually provides donuts, you know, perk.
Washrooms?
Excuse me.
So washrooms. Some places
I
you
thought
go
you
to
said mushrooms.
check in, and there's
Oh,
just a
my
little
mushrooms.
cage around the door, right? And you're like, oh,
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
this is the driver's lounge.
Oh my god, the driver's lounge.
Oh,
The place that
we don't get
has
that
a
down here.
microwave is always good. But and again, eventually I got my own microwave, so I didn't really care. But there was I know I delivered to I was picking up from a coffee company one time, and he just asked me like, "Hey, do you want some coffee?" Like, yeah. I didn't.
Yeah, I love those
but
ones.
yeah, you know, I mean, I'm not going to refuse free stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
You've been very quiet. You must have had something.
Yeah, I have. It was
Go on.
also at the skipyard. It's about 5 years ago. I was given a bottle of Malibu,
Ooh,
and
nice.
I've still got the bottle now.
Oh, that's nice.
You don't
Is it like
you
a
don't like
spell?
Malibu, do you?
You don't like it?
Me?
Not really.
Or
No,
how she
but
does
I
it. Yeah,
can't
yeah,
get rid of it, and I don't want to give it away either. But the
damn it.
customer emailed my boss and said how great I was and everything, and then
Aw.
left a Google review, and it was a marvelous review. And my boss screenshot it and printed it out and put it up on the wall.
Aw.
Yeah. So apparently, I was a credit to the company.
Now,
Aw.
when they gave you the
That made me
bottle-
feel great.
Now they
That's
gave you the
cool.
bottle of they gave you the alcohol, and now
Yeah.
did you have the alcohol in your truck?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I
see,
know,
we're not
good.
allowed to have that. I was given a gift one time from a student. He just passed his test for our company, and he was like so grateful and everything. And he said, "By the way, I left you a little something in the bag." I'm like, "What do you mean? What's a little something?" I left you a bottle, like it was like a something malt. What the fuck is a malt? A malt whiskey? Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
like a good, you know, and like, dude, I can't have that in my truck. What do you mean? You can't have liquor whatsoever in your
Can't
truck?
just
No
hide it
beer, no
somewhere.
nothing.
So
I
we're
know,
allowed
but-
in Canada, but most companies have it as a company policy that you're not allowed to have any alcohol.
It might
in the
be,
truck.
yeah, you know, but as like, dude,
Can you
now
strap it
that
to your
you
catwalk
should
or
have.
something?
I've done that in the past, but I was told that's not right either. You know,
Yeah,
like, 'cause
it
I-
has to be manifested. You need to write yourself a bill of lading.
Well, what about if you just
For it
chuck a
to be
ratchet
illegal,
over it to
right?
make sure it's secure? You
I did that. I did that too. I did all of the above. I just put it on the catwalk because I didn't have any trailer, and I was like, you know, this was. I did it once. By the way, I did it once, and then I found out you weren't allowed to do that. And again, this was like 99% of all my mistakes. 92% of all my mistakes were done in the first 2 years of my trucking career, and I learned. But anyway, yeah, you're not allowed. You're not allowed
Wow,
to do
that's
that.
rubbish.
Yeah. You can't be hauling alcohol without a manifest,
I once
even
got
if it is in
given-
your body.
I once got given 20 quid by someone out of it was a Christmas. No, it might have been 40
Was
quid,
it a
actually.
was it a
It's-
lay-by?
No, it was. I believe that's considered other work. No, it was this
Rest
like
period.
this scrap place, and he gave me. It might have been 40 quid or something like that. It was actually a half decent Christmas tip. And I was like, "Oh, this is fucking great." Turns out the reason he'd given me it is because he's damaged my trailer and overfilled.
Oh,
no.
Right, so I'll say some. I'll tell you guys something
Oh,
now. Right, so
no.
this was the. Fuck, should I say this or not?
Yes, of course you
Right,
could.
okay. So this just point out, this was 4 years ago. It was my first trucking job. It was like I was like 3 weeks into it, and this story is really bad. By the way, we might get some comments about this one.
I'm sure you've had worse. Come on.
So so bad. So, anyways, he'd loaded me, and he said all this stuff is light. It's just plastics. So there's no point in weighing you. And the guy gave me money, and I was like, yeah, that checks out. I had no reason to doubt what he'd said. I didn't. If if I was doing it, as I set off, I've been like, "There's no way this is underweight." I'd have just known, but now or then I didn't know. Drove from Liverpool all the way to Leeds, past the Vosa station.
Ooh.
Got into the place at Leeds. Basically a DOT way station. Drove past that.
Right.
Yeah, Liverpool to Leeds could be 10 miles for all I know.
Well,
That's all I'm saying.
It's long enough that I could have been pulled. Anyways, I got to the place and he said, the guy said, "I can't weigh you in." And I said, "Well, why can't you weigh me in?" He says, "You've maxed the weighbridge out." And
It goes all sketchy.
It was, I can't remember, it was either 50 or 55 tons it maxed out at.
Yeah, it would have done.
And I was way overweight. As in, like,
73 miles.
if I'd been pulled over,
You'd have been screwed.
I'd have. They wouldn't even use lube. They'd have gone in dry.
Oh God.
It'd have been bad. It'd have been real bad.
So were they able to do anything about that? Like, or did you have to go back?
No. I got weighed in and just put the weight down, and that was that. Because in the day I'm there, they can't. In the day they can't send me back out again.
No,
because I'm illegally heavy. But
How much did you weigh?
Well, you maxed out, so at least 50...
Well, it was over 50 tons.
Yeah. 50.
What's your guys' maximum?
Tons.
Yeah, I was
44. Oh, so I was way
our
overweight.
weighbridge used to max out at 54 ton, I think it was. After that, it started going 99999 and just freaking out.
Yeah, well, that's what it did.
Yeah.
So whatever it was, I was way overweight, and
wow.
And you travelled around 75 miles like it.
Yeah, but I will say so.
I travelled to the nearest weighbridge to weigh it.
Well, no. The one thing I could do is at the time. So I reported to my boss and I said, "Listen, I didn't realise I've been sent out at this weight. I was told at the time that the stuff that was getting put on is light. It's all just basically it'll just fill the trailer, but it won't be heavy. But I didn't realise, and because I'd seen there was like polystyrene and stuff like that. But what I hadn't seen is there was more that I couldn't see, and he was taking the heavy stuff as well from behind. Because what I could see was plastics and polystyrene and shit like that. But there was obviously heavy stuff behind it, and he knew. The guy knew he was sending me out of the way. That's the reason why he gave me money beforehand. But I tell you what, but then the thing is, I don't really know, because I've always thought back to this day, considering the fact that I'd only been on 3 weeks, I didn't know any better, and if I'm being told by someone who knows what they're doing that this is the
it would have been on your paperwork though as well. Yeah, surely. If it was it palletized?
He's written. No, it was
a Mandalorian.
It was a bulk material. No, it was bulk material, and he'd written on the paperwork.
Do you guys have
weighbridge?
Do you guys have like scales that you can go to as a driver if you're like, I'm not? I think that this is a little overweight.
Yes, we could do. Yeah. And so the truck had scales, and the what he said
the truck
the weight
itself has
was,
a scale.
Yeah, on
but you don't have them in like every single truck.
Is it just like the air gauge on the?
So on the walking floors, they're not very accurate, and I remember
it's
at the time,
done on the axle, isn't it? And then you've got like a gauge outside. That
what he told me
area
confirmed what like it was confirmed on the truck itself. So I had no reason to kind of doubt it. Now, if it had been my tipper, I know within about 200 kilos. How depending on like what sort of like banking it is and stuff like that, I can tell you. It's I know my truck's going to be like 43,600 or something like that. So I can kind of near enough get it bang on every single time you need to. But with the walking floors, they weren't that accurate. No, I didn't know. I was stupid and I was dumb. Because what I should have done is not believed him and go to the nearest weighbridge. But I did not do that. That was a lesson learned. That was a very valuable lesson.
There's actually a lot more public weighbridges now than there used to be.
Yeah.
But it's not always easy to get to one.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, every single truck stop that I've seen in the U.S. and most of them in Canada too have CAT scales, which is the same thing.
No.
And, you go in and it prints you off a ticket. And actually, if you then get pulled into a scale and they give you an overweight ticket, they will fight that in court.
A truck weighs more than a cat.
Wow.
Yeah,
certified automatic truck scale.
Sorry.
Fucking dickhead.
All right. So Because we have not had Nessa on our show for a few weeks now. How long has
No.
it been, Nessa, since you've been on?
Too long.
At least 3, but it might be 4.
Yeah. So we have a quiz that we would like to do before we leave. All right. Nessa, can you tell us about the quiz, please?
The quiz, it is basically it's a who said it quiz. So it's famous one-liners from movies. So
Ooh.
you can either give the name of the movie or you can give the name of the character, but not the actor because you won't get a point for that.
You won't get a name for the
Oh, wait,
actor.
what?
Oh,
Not for the
Oh,
actor.
how
no,
no.
about,
so
how
you've
about a half a
got to
point?
name the character.
Okay,
No.
okay. At a certain, okay, if we can't get it, can we get a half a point for the actor?
Oh god, this is going to
If-
get competitive already.
You know what I
isn't
mean?
it?
It's already
That one that
competitive.
Tom Cruise is in, what's it called? That's not a half
Yeah,
point.
that's not going to work, is it?
Wait, no. Okay, wait. No, sorry. Okay, so to clarify, you're going to say the line, and then we got to say the name of the character, and then the movie, or can we?
Just one or the other.
Yeah, well, you can either say the character's name or the movie or both. It's up to you. You'll still
Oh,
get a
okay,
point.
okay.
Do you get an
Right.
extra point if you do both?
I feel like you get an extra
No.
point if you get the actual character, and
And
Oh,
the
well,
movie.
okay.
So
What if
2
someone gets
points
a
then.
character and
so
someone
2
gets
points
a
for the movie,
You
1
share
point
it.
for the actor. Sorry,
Right,
not.
so it's-
I mean,
All right, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
no. I got it.
So-
Shut the fuck up. Everyone, shut the fuck
God.
up, or else I'll mute you all.
I'd
right.
quite like to get the Patreons involved in this, so if they can
Ooh.
keep score, that would be wonderful.
All right. Okay.
Ooh.
1 point for the actor, 2 points for the movie, 3 points for the character.
This is already
Yeah.
broken my head.
Also,
Oh,
patrons,
Tom.
help
You get
us.
a point
Help
for
us.
each one. Okay.
Okay,
I'm going to start off with an easy one, and if you don't all get it, there's something wrong.
You said that last quiz, and none of us we were
Yeah.
Oh,
terrible.
but it was
it's a really
easy.
easy question. This
But
one.
if you think
No
about
idea.
the last quiz, Tom started off really bad and ended up winning.
I won.
This could be
No, I
my
don't think it's- I
moment.
think it might be
No,
Dave
I
that
won. He
that.
caught up,
Yes.
but I won.
Okay. The first
Okay.
one, the first quote is "Nobody puts baby in the corner."
Oh! Dirty Dancing.
For real?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, Patrick
Oh.
Swayze's character is called what, Chloe?
Oh shit! That's
For an extra
baby,
point.
and then.
Did you
Oh,
just
no,
have it,
what's his
David?
name?
I just said John.
What
Is his
was-
name John? I have no idea. I
Right.
just said the
It's-
first name. I just said the first
it
name that
is,
came into my
isn't
head.
Dirty
it John?
Dancing. So what? There's a baby in it. Why have they put the baby
No,
in the
her
corner?
name's baby.
Oh, Tom, have you not seen it?
How have you
No.
not seen Dirty Dancing?
Because I'm a man.
Kaylee, get onto that. Kaylee,
Yeah, Kaylee,
Kaylee,
come
are you
on.
listening? Make sure you watches it. Yeah, it's Johnny.
Sorry.
Johnny
Oh,
Castle.
it is
I'm not.
Johnny.
I'm not going to receive any
Oh,
points for that
Johnny.
because that was literally the first name that came into my head, and I had
It
no idea. I never.
yeah.
All right, so I'm going to. Okay, so all right,
Yeah, Chloe gets that point because she did get the movie.
all right. Okay, so she gets.
It's going to go downhill from now on.
She gets 2 points, doesn't she?
No, I only got the
It's
movie.
2 points.
It's
2
already
points
You
for
got
the
the
movie.
movie.
Complicated,
so-
see. Right,
Yeah.
let's have the next one. Come on.
Oh,
Okay,
Tom
so
is
the
fucking. He
next
wants to
one.
get that. Wait till Tom gets on the board, and he'll be fucking like.
The next one is "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn."
Oh,
Casablanca.
no.
Nope. It is an old one.
Frankly, I don't give a damn. Come on, Canadian, let's
Wick.
do this. No, it's not John
Oh,
Wick.
what, you teaming
I don't
up now,
know.
are you?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's an old
recognise-
one.
I
Can we have
recognise
more
it
clues?
from Futurama. They say it on Futurama once. Does that count?
Are you
No.
serious?
No.
It's not Casablanca.
It's a very old one. Think of the Second World War times.
I don't watch
Oh.
any of them films.
Yeah,
They're not
no
even in
idea.
colour.
It's not a war movie. Gone with the Wind.
I
Oh,
couldn't
no,
think of
I
it.
wouldn't
I
have
couldn't
known
think of
that
it,
one.
but I was trying to think of it.
The character's name is
I don't
Rhett
think I've ever
Butler.
watched that.
All right.
No.
Right.
No, I've
when I
never.
agreed to this quiz, I thought this was going to be like.
In your
Like-
favour.
Well, I thought this was going to be like from action films and shit. Films. That
Okay.
I've
Well,
actually
maybe there
watched.
will be. Maybe there will be. All right. Let's
Well, there
just
might
let's
be
keep
an
going.
Arnie one in a minute. You never know.
The next one, the movie is from 1975. There's been a couple
Oh
of
my God.
sequels. There's been a couple of sequels,
Okay.
and pretty much everybody's watched it, I think. Okay. The
Not
quote
Tom.
is, "You're going to need a bigger boat."
Oh,
Jaws.
Jaws.
Yes.
I personally, I said at the exact same time as Tom, but that could be the delay, so we don't know.
It was definitely me. It was
Damn.
definitely
What's the
me. I'm
character's
just saying-
name?
Terry? I don't
Uh,
know.
No, actually, Tom
John.
got that because if I said it at the same time as Tom, that means Tom got it before me.
Yeah,
Yes,
you are.
Tom got that.
Because of the
What's that?
delay.
Yeah,
Jaws,
the delay.
yeah. I don't know. It's,
Character's name
it's,
is Brody.
Right, no, I wouldn't know.
No, I
Never
wouldn't
have
know that.
Never
No.
have guessed that.
All right.
Okay.
I've got a
the
point.
next one. Are we allowed to swear? Are we allowed to say the F word?
Of course we are. We've already done it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on.
The next one. English motherfucker. Do you speak it?
Samuel L.
Oh.
Jackson.
It doesn't count.
What's the film?
I know it doesn't. You get 1 point for that.
What's the film?
Who did you say it was?
1994. Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, is it?
What was the quote again?
Oh shit!
Why can't I think of it?
English motherfucker. Do you speak it?
Oh,
English
Tarantino's
motherfucker.
film.
Do you
Pulp
yes,
Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp
Ah,
Fiction.
damn it, Tom.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yes.
All right, what's
But
the
you
character's
did get
name?
a point for the character, the actor. Yeah. Jules.
God damn it.
Jules. Jules.
Nope, no idea.
Now you get more. You get more for the name of the movie. I couldn't
This
think
is
of
like
it. Jesus
right.
Christ.
Wait. This is like when my son makes a game, and he's just making the rules up as go along, and you're like, but wait, this is worth more points now. Yeah, this is worth more points. But the thing is, whenever we're doing it, it's always in his favour. And then when I say, for instance, I once played chess with him, and the horses could do fucking wild things. They could bounce from all the different corners.
But then
and
when
hit
it's your
multiple
turn,
things.
you're not allowed to do
Oh, yeah.
that. No.
Or they can
Yeah,
only
my
leave
kids are
one
the same.
space.
You can't do that one.
All right, what's the score? Thomas has at
I
least
can
2
do.
points, 3 points
Yeah.
maybe.
I've got one. Woohoo!
I maybe have 1.
Don't know.
Come on, Chris.
Tom,
get your shit
Tom's
together.
got 2.
I know.
Chloe's got 1.
Come on,
What's
Chris,
David
you
got?
can do this.
David's got 1.
Chris is losing. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Not me.
Okay, the next one. The next one, you should all be able to shout this out at the same time.
Oh no.
Jurassic
Houston,
Park.
we
You'll
have
get
a problem.
point or...
Apollo 13.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
That's
People
the
watch.
actor, not the
Oh.
character.
I know, but I still get 1 point for the actor.
Yeah.
Dave.
What's his name?
Buzz Aldrin. Neil Armstrong.
That's not
Surely
the
it's
right
Neil Armstrong,
Apollo
isn't it?
mission.
Fred.
No,
Jim.
Oh wait,
that was-
the Apollo
Jim.
mission. Jim.
Yeah.
Sean.
Oh.
That's such a good film.
Bill.
That was a really, really good film.
Nope, no idea.
Was his name
Who
Craig?
got that
Yeah,
point? Who won that one?
Well, what was the
all
answer?
me.
Tom won it, Apollo.
Apollo 13 was the film.
Sure, it's not Apollo 11.
Yes.
No, it's 13.
Definitely sure.
Were they the ones who went to the moon, or were they the ones who just went up into space for the first time?
No. Well, they were supposed to go to the
Got Tom
moon, but it
Hanks
was
in
like
it.
it was a later mission because
They wear
was it
spacesuits.
Apollo 11
idea.
was the one that actually landed, was it?
I don't know.
Yes. The 13
know.
was
It's the ones
filmed
they went
in
up and they had problems and had to come back.
Yeah.
Well, that was a
Yeah,
lame
yeah.
film.
Yeah, the leaky tank. It was a
Yeah.
fucking great. Wait, have you never seen Apollo 13?
It doesn't appeal to me.
Oh,
So they go into
fucking
space and go,
great.
oh, we've got an issue here. Okay, let's go back to Earth. Woohoo! Sounds boring.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
how to
Very
react
boring.
to
Kind
it.
of does when you put it like that.
All right, next question.
Next one. You can't handle the truth.
Oh no!
Few Good
what's
Men.
that?
Yeah.
Jack
movie.
I can
Nicholson.
see. Yeah, I
Oh,
can
shit.
see it. I don't know what it's called.
Major Tom. I have no clue what the fucking character's
Juice.
name.
Colonel
You can't
Nathan
handle the
Jessup.
juice.
Huh?
Colonel Nathan Jessup.
Nobody's gonna get Colonel Nathan.
No one's going
Well,
to.
I
Blah,
remember that. That was a good film, though. I really enjoyed that film.
What film was it?
A Few Good Men.
The one with
Okay.
Tom.
And
the one with
David
Tom
gets
Cruise.
the point for that one.
Well, I think there was, more,
Yes.
there was
You
one good man in it, really, wasn't there?
Okay, ready
go
for
on
the
then,
next
go on
one?
then. I'm trying.
Yes.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Oh,
Babe.
babe!
Yeah.
I got that.
I'm
I
gonna
got
give
that.
it
Fuck
to
you.
Chloe got it. Tom. Chloe got it.
I did get
This
it.
is some bullshit.
Tom.
I shouted it
okay.
louder as well, so in your face.
Yes.
All right, I get bonus points for excitement.
Is he not just called? Is he not just Farmer in the
He's
credits?
Farmer Phil, isn't he, or something? Farmer Ted?
Arthur Hoggart,
Oh,
right.
damn it.
which is funny considering it's a pig.
All right. 2 for the
Next
pig.
one.
2 for the name.
Yeah,
of the
Okay.
2 for the
That's right.
pig.
Okay, got
Okay.
it.
I feel the need for speed.
Speed.
Oh, Need for
no.
Speed.
Gun 60. No. Fast and Furious.
Nope.
Oh,
Wait. I need the speed. The need for speed.
Feel
Top
the
Gun.
need for speed. Yeah, Top Gun, the original.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
fucking
Character's
I
name?
watched that film.
Tom Cruise.
Goose.
Character's
Um,
name.
Goose.
Maverick.
Maverick.
I said it
Maverick, yeah.
first.
Yeah,
Oh,
you-
Maverick or Pete Mitchell, either one would have done.
Okay, cool. Okay, I got some points for that one. At
Chris
least.
is not doing well on this.
Sorry, Chris.
I'm kind of checked out.
He's like, fuck this, YOLO, I'm out.
Okay, last one. Okay. Why
How
so
many have we done?
serious?
Why so
Oh,
serious?
the
Batman.
Joker from.
Okay, Tom gets it.
So Joker.
Well,
Yeah,
Tom
which
got it.
Point
movie?
each.
Oh, The Dark Knight.
Yes.
But it was the Joker.
Yeah, the
Heath
Dark Knight. It was
Ledger's
the Joker, yeah.
Yeah. Why so serious?
That was a good film. That's a really good film.
It's okay.
It is, yeah.
It's a really good film.
Is that the one
Yeah.
with Heath Ledger?
Okay,
Yeah.
who wins?
Not me.
I actually think it.
I
might
feel
be-
like
lose
David got a
then.
lot of points.
I usually got one part of the answer.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
Chucky
Trucker Marty coming in with the goods.
David with 7
David's
points.
got
Well
7.
done.
Well done, David.
Four.
Oh, only got 4. Lucky Tomo.
Sorry, Tom.
I got 3. Woohoo! Close second.
This is some bullshit right here.
Third.
This is some
Everyone.
bullshit.
Chris, I'm so
It's
sorry.
It's okay.
You
I'll get over
you-
it. I'll get over it.
You came under me.
Every time that Nessa is a producer, she's always going to bring a quiz at the end. All right, because she's always going to make it to the show.
Oh.
Because sometimes I
Sarah
record
Doesn't
on a
know
Friday.
this.
No, she doesn't.
She
I'm
does
telling her
now. That's fine with me.
Right. Let's wrap this up because this has been a very long one. This was only supposed to be on for an hour, and we have been on for.
We haven't done an hour in
It's about
months.
an hour and a
An hour and a
half.
half.
We usually
It's
do an hour and 15 to an
fine.
hour.
Let's wrap this up. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't listened, how is it you got this far? But we shall see.
Hold on, stop. We never thanked the Patreons.
Oh no, we didn't.
I'm sorry. We have some Patreons that we need to. Fuck you, Tom. Don't give me that look.
I
All
was
right,
going to
this is
say
very-
we should probably put this in at the very beginning.
Well, our show is so entertaining that I'm sure everybody lasted till the very end.
They're waiting for my quiz.
Thank you,
missed me.
Trucker. Thank you, Trucker Marty. He has been
patrons
part of
will
our show
definitely
by
be here.
keeping
Yeah.
score. That has been
Yeah.
fantastic. We have
Legend.
Stealth Call. I think it's Colin something. I'm sorry. I only have as your actual name on the your username, and we got Timo. And we have Neil Reese, and we have Joe Rodwell. Thank you very much, guys. We seriously, if we don't have Patreons, we make zero amount of money, and everything comes out of my pocket. All right, so thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yes,
And
thank you.
Tom, thanks. He wants to say thank you to everybody who has actually bought merchandise from salmonslap.com. All right, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
And we'd like to thank Chris from Canada for joining us on the
Yes,
show.
thank you.
Absolutely.
No problem.
Yes.
Chris, yeah.
and
No
entertaining
worries.
us on a lot of
Terribly,
stuff.
aren't we?
Tom was just so excited to get off.
I know. He was like, I want to
And-
go. I'm out.
I'm like, I
Screw
don't
you
wanna do
guys.
this
I'm
anymore.
out.
I didn't win. I didn't even get close to winning. So fuck you
Yeah.
guys. I'm
Yeah.
done. All right, you can do your spiel now.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Okay, love you,
Okay,
bye.
that's it. Bye.
Oh shit! Sorry, I was supposed to do
Yes.
something, aren't I?
Yeah.
No,
sorry.
I actually thought that was it. I thought that was it. Bye.
Right. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't listened, how is it you got this far? But we shall see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.